This remarkable Australian 50-cent coin is admired for its distinctive design and cultural significance. Collectors value it not only as currency but also as a lasting symbol of heritage and rarity, making it an essential piece for any serious collection. First up, the Australian 50-cent coin from 1975 without a mint mark holds a special place in the world of numismatics. Despite being a relatively modern coin, it has gained a reputation among collectors due to its rarity and the role it plays in representing Australia's evolving coinage system during the mid-20th century. For enthusiasts, this coin is more than just currency, it is a historical artifact that reflects the country's transition in coin design, production standards, and the increasing global interest in Australian coinage. Even in dirty or worn condition, the 1975 piece attracts attention, as its appeal lies not only in pristine examples but also in its overall scarcity and symbolic importance within the series. The coin was introduced during a period when Australia had recently adopted decimal currency, shifting from the older pounds-shillings-pence system to dollars and cents in 1966. The 50-cent denomination had initially been issued in silver, but by 1975 the composition had fully transitioned to a copper-nickel alloy, a change brought about by the rising cost of silver in the international market. This coin belongs to that early transitional era and reflects both the practical considerations of coinage production and the broader economic adjustments Australia faced during the 1970s. Although the 1975 50 cent did not commemorate a specific event, its release was tied to the country's broader efforts to stabilize its currency and establish a distinct national identity through its coinage. What makes the coin fascinating is its design, which captures both tradition and national pride. The obverse features the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin, which was used across Commonwealth coinage during this era. The reverse depicts the iconic Australian coat of arms, with a kangaroo and emu flanking a shield that represents the country's 6 states, all surrounded by a striking dodecagonal, 12-sided, border. At 31.5 mm in diameter and weighing 15.55 grams, the coin's unique shape not only makes it visually distinctive but also ensures it stands out among world coinage. Collectors value this combination of artistic design, symbolic detail, and unconventional form, as it represents a bold step away from the traditional round coinage that dominated most countries' mints. In terms of rarity, the 1975 50 cent without a mint mark is not as commonly encountered as other dates in circulation, partly due to its limited release and the fact that many coins were heavily circulated. Unlike proof issues or commemorative strikes, which are often preserved in better condition, these circulation strikes were exposed to daily use, leaving fewer examples in high grades today. Coins that survive in uncirculated or near-mint state are exceptionally sought after, and even well-worn pieces still carry numismatic interest. Error varieties, such as misstrikes or double strikes, add an additional layer of rarity, although these are far less common and command higher premiums. The market value of the 1975 50 cent varies significantly depending on its condition and whether it possesses any special attributes. A heavily circulated or dirty coin may only bring modest offers, ranging from a few dollars to perhaps $2,500 in the secondary market, but higher-grade examples certified by professional grading services can fetch considerably more. Uncirculated coins, especially those with minimal toning or blemishes, are known to sell in the $5,000 to $6,500 range, while rare proof-like or error specimens can push values much higher. Auction records show that coins in top-graded condition attract strong bidding, reflecting the enduring demand among both Australian and international collectors. For those interested in adding this coin to their collection, care and attention are critical. Collectors are advised to seek coins that display sharp details in both the Queen's portrait and the coat of arms, as wear tends to dull these intricate features. Certification through recognized grading authorities can provide assurance of authenticity and condition, both of which are essential when dealing with coins that derive much of their value from rarity and preservation. Proper storage is equally important. Coins should be kept in acid-free holders or capsules and away from moisture or direct handling to prevent further deterioration, especially if a coin is already in delicate condition. The appeal of the 1975 50 cent lies not just in its numismatic value but also in the way it captures a moment in Australia's cultural and economic history. Collectors often regard it as a transitional piece that bridges the gap between the silver-based coins of the early decimal years and the more stable copper-nickel issues that followed. It also holds an aesthetic charm that makes it desirable even for those outside the numismatic world, as the combination of unusual shape, national symbolism, and historical context gives it a uniqueness unmatched by many contemporary issues. Ultimately, the 1975 Australian 50 cent with no mint mark represents far more than a denomination of money. It is a tangible link to Australia's past and a testament to the nation's evolving identity through its currency. For experienced collectors, it offers both a challenge and a reward, while for newcomers, it serves as an accessible yet meaningful entry point into Australian numismatics. Whether admired for its history, design, or investment potential, the coin's continued demand ensures it will remain a cornerstone in the market and a prized possession for those fortunate enough to own it. Next up, the Australian 50-cent coin from 1978 without a mint mark has grown into a fascinating subject of discussion among collectors, not just for its role as circulating currency, but for the value it has acquired in numismatic markets. While at first glance it may appear to be a common copper-nickel coin, it has become increasingly desirable due to its historical associations and its gradual disappearance from circulation in better conditions. Even in very dirty or worn states, the coin is still considered collectible, but it is the cleaner, well-preserved examples that drive excitement and strong demand at auctions and private sales. This coin was struck at a time when Australia was continuing to refine its decimal currency system, which had been introduced in 1966. The 1978 issue represents part of the second decade of decimal coinage, solidifying the 50 cent as one of the most widely used and easily recognized denominations in the nation's currency system. It did not commemorate a specific national event, but its release coincided with a period of economic adjustments, fluctuating inflation rates, and a cultural era where Australia was increasingly emphasizing its independent identity. Produced at the Royal Australian Mint in Canberra, the 1978 issue was an ordinary circulation coin, yet it now holds more weight for collectors due to the low survival rate of higher-grade examples. The design is one of its defining traits and a major reason for its long-standing popularity. The obverse features Queen Elizabeth II, portrayed by the sculptor Arnold Machin, a portrait that was widely used on Commonwealth coins of the era. On the reverse, the Australian coat of arms dominates, flanked by the iconic kangaroo and emu, both of which are native animals that symbolize the country's heritage and progress. The 12-sided shape, a trademark of the Australian 50-cent coin since the shift away from round silver issues in the late 1960s, adds both visual distinction and practical recognition. At 31.5 mm in diameter and 15.55 grams in weight, made of a copper-nickel composition, the coin was crafted to be durable yet aesthetically representative of Australia's national symbols. Although many 1978 50-cent coins were minted, their rarity emerges from the perspective of condition and collector survival rates. Circulated pieces are common in low to average grades, but coins that remain in pristine, uncirculated form are scarce and thus far more desirable. Factors such as misstrikes, die cracks, or double strikes occasionally add to the rarity of specific specimens, pushing them into the category of ultra-rare finds. As with many copper-nickel coins, the surfaces are prone to scratches, discoloration, and wear, which means that finding a flawless example decades later is a genuine challenge. Collectors often remark on how difficult it is to locate coins that retain sharp details in the coat of arms shield or the Queen's hairlines. Market value is heavily tied to condition, and the 1978 50 cent is no exception. In a dirty or heavily circulated state, the coin might bring only a few dollars, more for sentimental or collecting reasons than intrinsic rarity. However, in extremely fine to uncirculated grades, the value increases significantly. Coins certified by professional grading services with high marks can command between $6,500 and $7,000 depending on their quality. Rare varieties, such as error strikes, can exceed these ranges, sometimes selling for several $100s at auction. Trends suggest that the demand for mid to late 1970s decimal coins has been steadily rising, as collectors seek to complete sets of Australian 50-cent issues and as older examples in better states become less accessible. For collectors aiming to acquire this coin, knowledge and careful selection are vital. The sharpness of the Queen's portrait and the clarity of the coat of arms are the primary features to inspect. Original mint luster, free from heavy scratches or toning, greatly enhances value. Certification by recognized grading bodies not only protects against counterfeits but also provides assurance to potential buyers in the future. Coins should be stored in non-PVC holders or capsules to prevent further deterioration, especially since copper-nickel alloys can tarnish or discolor over time. Sourcing the coin from trusted numismatic dealers, major auctions, or reputable online communities helps ensure authenticity and quality. The charm of the 1978 no-mint mark 50 cent is not purely in its financial value but also in the story it tells about Australian coinage during a transformative era. Its everyday utility, combined with the survival of a select few in outstanding condition, makes it both approachable for beginners and challenging for advanced collectors. It represents the middle years of the decimal currency's development, bridging the gap between the earliest silver issues and the later commemorative coins that would increasingly define the series. In the end, the 1978 Australian 50-cent coin stands as a reminder of how even standard circulation issues can evolve into prized numismatic treasures. It embodies a balance of accessibility and exclusivity, offering collectors both a link to Australian history and a tangible investment in rare coinage. Its distinct design, scarcity in high grade, and steady market performance ensure that it will remain an essential coin for serious enthusiasts. Whether admired for its symbolism, pursued for its rarity, or valued as an investment, the 1978 issue continues to demonstrate why Australia's 50-cent coin is one of the most iconic and collectible denominations in the nation's history. Next up, the Australian 50-cent coin from 1979 without a mint mark has emerged as a noteworthy piece in the field of numismatics, not because it commemorated a specific event, but because of its lasting role as part of Australia's standard currency during an era of stability and change. For collectors, it is a coin that carries both everyday familiarity and increasing rarity in higher grades. While many examples remain in circulation, finding well-preserved or untouched coins is becoming progressively harder, which adds to its value and desirability in the numismatic community. Even a coin in very dirty or worn condition is still appealing to enthusiasts, as it holds historical significance and completes collections from the late 1970s era of Australian decimal coinage. The year 1979 was situated in a period of consolidation for the Royal Australian Mint, which had been striking decimal coinage since the 1960s. This issue represents one of the routine circulation strikes of that time, but it forms part of a series that marked the maturing of Australia's decimal system. Though not tied to any commemorative purpose, the 1979 issue coincided with a period of national economic adjustment, reflecting inflation concerns and the broader cultural emphasis on defining an independent Australian identity. Minted in Canberra, this coin is part of a continuous lineage that connected the nation's daily life to its symbols and heritage, serving as both currency and a piece of national pride. The visual elements of the 1979 50 cent are a key component of its charm. The obverse bears the Arnold Machin portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, which was widely used across Commonwealth coinage at the time. On the reverse, the Australian coat of arms is beautifully detailed, with the kangaroo and emu standing guard over the shield that symbolizes the 6 states of the nation. This striking design is further enhanced by the dodecagonal, or 12-sided, shape, which has been a hallmark of the denomination since the replacement of the earlier silver round coin. Crafted from copper-nickel, the coin weighs 15.55 grams and measures 31.5 millimeters in diameter, giving it both durability and a distinctive appearance that makes it instantly recognizable. Rarity with this coin is less about low mintage and more about condition and survival. While millions were struck, decades of circulation have left most coins heavily worn, scratched, or tarnished. For this reason, finding a 1979 example in pristine, uncirculated state is a difficult challenge. Collectors particularly value coins with sharp details in the Queen's hair and the coat of arms, since these are often the first areas to lose definition. Additionally, error coins such as misaligned dies, double strikes, or die cracks from this year are scarce and highly desirable, sometimes commanding significant premiums. This is where the coin shifts from ordinary circulation issue to ultra-rare numismatic treasure. The market value of the 1979 50-cent coin depends entirely on its condition and rarity of variety. In very dirty or heavily circulated condition, a coin may only bring in a few dollars, mostly for collectors looking to complete a set of circulation years. However, high-grade uncirculated examples can sell anywhere from $5,200 to $6,300, depending on grading results and eye appeal. Certified coins in superb condition, often with original mint luster, have been known to achieve even higher prices in auctions. Rare error varieties may surpass these values by several multiples, occasionally reaching several $100s, depending on their uniqueness and demand among specialists. Market trends show steady growth in the appeal of late 1970s 50-cent coins as collectors increasingly pursue full runs of decimal issues. Collectors interested in acquiring this coin should take careful steps to identify quality examples. Key factors include crispness of detail, absence of deep scratches, and preservation of mint luster. Professional certification is highly recommended for coins believed to be in uncirculated condition, as grading not only secures authenticity but also provides confidence in resale or trade value. Storage in protective capsules or archival quality holders ensures that the coin will remain free from further wear or corrosion. For acquisition, reputable numismatic dealers, auction houses, and trusted online platforms are the safest avenues, as they minimize the risk of counterfeits or misrepresented coins. Beyond financial worth, the 1979 50-cent coin represents a slice of Australian history and culture embedded in metal. It reminds collectors of a time when decimal currency had already become well established, yet the nation continued to explore its identity and symbols through design. For numismatists, it bridges a period of relative economic normalcy and cultural growth, reflected through everyday objects like circulating coinage. Its iconic shape and national symbolism make it attractive not only to serious collectors but also to casual admirers of Australian history. In conclusion, the 1979 Australian 50-cent coin without a mint mark stands as an enduring part of the country's numismatic heritage. Its beauty, practicality, and historical associations elevate it from ordinary change to a meaningful collectible. While heavily circulated coins hold modest financial value, those preserved in exceptional condition or struck with rare errors are highly prized and command strong prices in the market. Its appeal rests not only in its investment potential but also in its role as a cultural artifact, ensuring that this coin remains an essential piece for collectors building comprehensive Australian collections. Next up, the Australian 50-cent coin from 1981 with no mint mark is a piece that continues to intrigue numismatists, not only for its role in circulation but also for the way it reflects the changing face of Australia's coinage during the early 1980s. Though many examples were produced and spent in everyday transactions, the scarcity of high-grade survivors makes this coin particularly attractive to collectors today. Even those in very dirty or heavily worn condition can still capture attention, especially for individuals looking to complete a full collection of decimal-era issues. Its presence in the market underscores how even standard circulation coins can, over time, evolve into sought-after treasures due to rarity in top condition and strong nostalgic appeal. The 1981 issue was struck at the Royal Australian Mint in Canberra during a period of national development, with Australia establishing its economic footing after a turbulent 1970s. While it was not created to mark a special event, it belongs to a decade when coinage was becoming firmly entrenched in the decimal system introduced only 15 years earlier. By this time, the 50-cent piece had already transitioned away from its original round, silver-based form and was firmly established in its distinctive copper-nickel dodecagonal format. The 1981 coin, therefore, stands as a continuation of the modernized series, but its production also mirrored Australia's steady march toward expressing its cultural identity through numismatic art. The design elements of the coin are central to its ongoing appreciation. The obverse shows the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by Arnold Machin, a likeness used on Australian coins from 1966 through the early 1980s. The reverse displays the intricate Australian coat of arms, supported by the kangaroo and emu, national animals that symbolize the country's forward momentum and resilience. Each detail of the shield represents the 6 states of the Commonwealth, making it a true emblem of national unity. Measuring 31.5 mm across, weighing 15.55 grams, and composed of copper-nickel, the coin is not only distinct for its shape but also for its durability, which allowed it to endure decades of handling without losing its core symbolic power. What adds intrigue to this coin is its rarity in terms of condition and varieties. While millions were minted, very few have survived with sharp details and original mint luster intact. Circulated examples are plentiful, but collectors often struggle to locate well-preserved specimens that have not been dulled by scratches or tarnishing. Error coins from this year, such as those struck off-center, die cracks, or double strikes, are exceedingly scarce and instantly increase the desirability of the coin. These rarities transform what might appear to be an ordinary circulation issue into an ultra-rare piece capable of commanding strong attention at auctions. The market value of a 1981 50-cent coin varies considerably depending on condition. A dirty or heavily circulated example may fetch only a few dollars, primarily of interest to entry-level collectors or for filling gaps in a set. Coins in higher grades, however, climb in value rapidly. Well-preserved uncirculated pieces are often valued between $4,500 and $5,900, depending on grading and eye appeal. Certified coins that achieve top grades or error examples can sell for considerably more, sometimes reaching into the several $100 range at auction. The steady demand for decimal-era coins ensures that the value of 1981 issues has shown consistent growth, particularly for premium specimens. For collectors seeking to acquire this coin, careful attention to detail is crucial. Look for pieces that retain crisp definition in both the Queen's portrait and the coat of arms, as these are the most reliable indicators of condition. Coins with minimal contact marks and original mint brilliance are worth pursuing, and certification by a reputable grading service offers valuable security in both authenticity and condition assessment. Proper storage is essential to preserve value, with archival quality holders and capsules recommended to protect against tarnish and environmental damage. Acquiring coins from respected numismatic dealers, specialized auctions, or trusted collector networks is the best way to secure a genuine and high-quality specimen. The importance of the 1981 50-cent coin extends beyond its monetary worth. It embodies a period when Australian coinage had fully embraced its distinct identity, departing from older designs rooted in British tradition and embracing symbols that reflected Australia's sovereignty and unity. For collectors, it offers not only a piece of history but also an aesthetic and cultural connection to the past, reminding us how everyday objects can grow into artifacts of national importance. In summary, the 1981 Australian 50-cent no-mint mark coin is a remarkable piece that blends history, artistry, and collectability. Its distinctive shape, detailed design, and survival challenges make it a cornerstone of modern Australian numismatics. While circulated examples hold modest value, pristine or rare error coins are highly prized, commanding strong interest and investment potential. For both new and seasoned collectors, the coin stands as a rewarding acquisition, embodying Australia's heritage and offering long-term promise as part of a well-rounded collection.